So my best guess is that it probably isn't, or maybe isn't on there.
Yeah, maybe that's why they haven't put in any effort whatsoever.
The data sheet's on the Tyrannid faction pack on the website, though.
Yeah. Did they update the faction pack? Oh, I find it now.
Yeah, I think they did, yeah. They did. Good afternoon, you wonderful human beings. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining us on this fine... Oh, there we go. On this fine Thursday afternoon. It is, in fact, beautiful outside. And because the weather's so good, Joe and I thought we'd sit in here and build models in the dark.
I've been building stuff all morning.
He has been building stuff all morning. If you haven't already, please make sure you smash all those magical YouTube buttons for us, you legends. Hit that like button if you enjoy the content. Smash subscribe if you haven't already. And hit that bell notification icon if you want to be notified every single time we go live or drop a new video. We are planning much more pre-recorded for 11th edition specifically, and perhaps some stuff, some test stuff coming out before then. Maybe, possibly. Lots of stuff's changing because I now live here because of Hobby House. So I'm going to be setting Joe up at some point in the next probably month. I'll be setting Joe up a camera at his desk so he can film his painting. That'd be cool and exciting. I've got some decorating to do for my Talking Heads shows in this studio. Work's going to be all at work now in the future, and I think that's probably a positive move. So there's lots of changes coming. Look forward to it. Make sure you get that bell notification icon turned on and you're subscribed so you don't miss any of that stuff in the future. So yesterday Games Workshop dropped a load of new stuff, right? And I said to you guys that the bonus of not being a previewer was that I could get excited about the balanced data slate with you. So I avoided the team chat for basically all day. I opened the balanced data slate live on air to go through all the changes and was massively underwhelmed.
There was a mass whelming going on, wasn't there?
It was utterly pointless doing it, I'll be honest. A tweak to Catan because the Silent King can't buff them. Sanguinary Priests can now lead Blade Guard. Is that?
That's good, to be fair. Like, Blade Guard are hella resilient now.
Okay.
They can take a hit, those boys.
Yeah. But what they also did is they also updated faction packs because new units have come out. So we've got the new character for Votan. We've got the new Twin Love Blade, or whatever it's called. Twin Fist, Twin.
The twins.
Twins for the Tau.
Yeah.
There's another thing, which I've forgotten what it is right now.
Votan Man.
Done him.
Stan.
Done him. But of course, the one that Joe really cares about is the brand new Tyrannid.
Oh, it's fucking... I hate it.
The new Tyrannid Prime got released.
It gives me strength how much I hate it.
Joe has been pretty upset about it, so I thought I'd give him the floor live on air so that he could talk about his problems with this unit. Comparatively as well, when you look at the Twin Blade Love Fusion and the Votan Man, there is...
It's like... The thing that makes me most upset, when you think about everything that's come out with the Maelstrom thing, so Titus, Huron's command squad, Titus's command squad, new Calgar, new Cato,
all with sick rules.
Victrix Honor Guard, new Votan Man, the Twin Blades. I'm like everything we've seen so far, new detachments, all really good.
Yeah.
Really good fun, really nice. And then Tau gets served this like lukewarm pissy soup.
Tau?
Not about Tyrannids.
Tyrannids, okay.
Tyrannids.
You said Tau.
Tau gets served.
You said Tau got soup.
They got
steak.
really warm, yeah. They got a steak that's been hollowed out and filled with like
they got like a
truffles.
prime cut fillet steak, right? And then Tyrannid's got like that braising steak you get that looks like slightly off brown colour in the supermarket.
Yeah, the one that's there's old. Right,
It looks like it's about to turn.
It's not even suitable for a dog to eat. It's awful.
I think the multiple docs might be a reason for the underwhelm. If the team had summarized for you, then you would have seen things like the extent of the different Catan nerfs and might have had more of a view to discuss.
I turned that off, like I deleted it.
Well, no.
I flat deleted it, Joe.
Well, apparently not. So yeah, so just for those that don't know, it's movement 10, toughness 5, a 3-up save, 6 wounds, leadership 7, and OC 1, which in itself is not great.
Hang on, I'm working on it, don't worry. I fixed it, Joe.
Okay.
Right, excuse that chat. Brian got added to the starting soon page for some reason.
Yeah.
And I had to go and find where he was so I could stop him from making noise. He's now gone. Brian's gone.
Brian is
dead. Yeah. Brian is inevitable.
Yeah, he is.
Sorry, chat.
Yeah.
You would have got the sudden countdown music as well then to try and fix it. But
yeah.
Done.
So good. T5, 6 wounds. He is a synapse creature, no wind one.
T5, 6 wounds?
Yeah.
Well, at least he's at least as tough as a little dwarf Votan, man.
Yeah. And
wait, no. He's tough to 6.
Votan are tough to 6. Like, this, everyone's like, oh, it's quite good. It's like, no, he just gets deleted. There's only one detachment they have access to a Feel No Pain. Right? And you're not going to use it on him. Right? He's got 3 weapon options, none of which are extra attacks.
Okay.
So you can only use one of the 3 options.
Right, okay.
Right? So he either has 4 attacks that hit on 2 with his Rending Claw, which is actually technically better than the monstrous Rending Claw on the Norn Emissary, which really goes to show the problems that this army has. Right?
A little bit, yeah.
4 attacks hitting on 2s, strength 8, but it'll actually be strength 9 when he's in synapse range of himself. AP 2, damage 3.
Okay. That's not bad. That's
People
decent.
are like, that kills Terminators. That kills, like, a lot of things. Yeah, well, actually, no. It doesn't.
Joe's really angry about this. By the way.
It kills.
You can tell.
Like, oh, that's really good. That could kill Terminators. Okay, so you get 4 attacks hitting on 2s, no rerolls, because not many detachments have rerolls. So he hits realistically 3 times unless you get unlucky. You might hit 4 with a CP reroll, right? Strength 8, so Terminators, Custodes, Victrix. Victrix is worse. No, 2s to do. So everyone gets wounded on 3s, right? So you wound 3 times.
Okay. Sounds
Right.
great. Sounds good.
It's AP 2, so everything's just getting a 4-up save. So basically, you either kill 1 or 2 or nothing, right? But more often than not, you're killing 1 3-wound model, right? And that's if they don't have armor of contempt, you know, or any -1s to wound. It has a lash whip, which is 8 attacks hitting on 2s. It's strength 4
Or
AP.
feel no pain for that matter as well.
Or a feel no pain. If it's got a feel no pain, you're not killing anything, right? Scything Talon, 6 attacks, strength 6, AP 2, the same attack profile that everyone has in the game, which is probably the one you're going to use. He does give the unit he's leading sustained hits.
Well, can he lead, Joe?
But he can only lead Hormagaunts, Termagants, Tyrannid warriors of both kinds. And Tyrannid warriors are awful. Right? They're just hot garbage. And then basically he gives his unit Timu Blood Surge. Right? Despite the fact he moves 10, his Blood Surge is only D6.
Really? That
Not
seems a
D6
bit like
plus
an
2.
oversight.
Yeah.
Mind you, his whole rule seems like a bit of an oversight, to be honest with you.
And it can't Blood Surge if it's battle shocked.
Right, okay. Okay. I think your problem is, at least he's only like 50 points.
No, he's like 80, I think.
85.
He's 85 points. I said when they put his data sheet out, I said if he's over 65, he's too many points.
Right, yeah, but let's think about the bench park, right? He is in fact 15 points cheaper than Lord Marshal Dreer.
Good. I would say he struggles to kill Marshal Dreer.
Does he?
Yeah.
Isn't Dreer like 5 wounds?
Let's go fight Dreer. This is the one time that Dreer becomes an actual arguable case as someone that's usable. D-E-I-R, isn't he, Dreer?
D-E-I-D-R,
D-R, right? So Dreer's got 6 wounds.
Okay,
So
so just
2 have to go through. He's toughness 4 with a 4 up invuln.
Okay.
So he's wounding Dreer on 2s. Right? But Dreer has a 4 up invuln. And a 6 up feel no pain, which is problematic.
So angry. So angry about this.
And what's mental is Dreer can arguably one-shot the Prime.
He could flatten him.
He has the capacity to one-shot the Prime.
The Prime also has the capacity to one-shot Dreer, to be fair.
He does have the... if you roll...
On average, you'll be wounding
if
at least
Dreer
twice.
rolls back.
Yeah.
But realistically, he does 3 wounds to Dreer.
Yeah. Mathematically, he does about that, yeah.
And if he does somehow kill Dreer, Dreer stands back up again.
Then clapped him anyway. Yeah. See, Dreer's worth it, mate. 100 points. I'm here for it. If you too think the Tyrannid Prime is fucking great, gift 5 memberships.
It's like the problem is what I've said previously. If this guy was released 6 months ago, I'd be like, oh, that's cool. Right? We need something like this to lead our dogshit unit. But now, in a time when Games Workshop's like firing off like bags of Skittles to people, just taste the rainbow, everyone's having all the sugar, and then you get hit in the face with a massive warm dog turd of a model. It's just a bit like...
Well, this is the thing, isn't it? Like, this is the point. In isolation, I don't know if I think he's bad or not. I don't think he's good, but I don't know if I would suggest that he's dreadful.
But
I think 85 points is still a little expensive for him. But when you then compare it to the Twin Blade, and you compare it to the new Votan character, and like you say, you compare it to Huron's unit, you compare it to Titus's unit, you do then look at this guy and go, who gave this to the intern?
Yeah. And like...
Who gave this to the Make
But the model's sick.
Experience?
I love the model. I think the model looks awesome. But then you got to look at the list of things that he can realistically join. Like, there's no point him joining Gaunts because they're toughness 3, which means that if there's 2 Gaunts left alive and someone sends in a bunch of stuff, they're wounding him on 2s because Gaunts are only toughness 3.
Oh, yeah.
So he's collectively got a toughness of 3. So you're going to put him in Warriors, which are also toughness 5, but Warriors only have a 4 up save and no invuln. If they said if his special rule was not Blood Surge, I would have made it the unit he joins gets a 5 up invuln.
Yeah.
Like the Warrior detachment.
Yeah, I like that.
Right?
That'd be cool.
He's automatically a bit of an include then.
I mean, my title says he's an auto include anyway.
He's not an auto include. I don't think he's automatically going anywhere. If you want to build him and paint him, fill your boots because he's a lovely model.
So you don't want one for the channel, is what you're saying?
I mean, I want one for completionist's sake, you know.
Yeah.
I want one because I do like Tyrannids, but like it's an overall example of the situation that Tyrannids are in at the moment, where they're just like they're not good. They're like a balanced army in an addition of killers.
Yeah, that's probably quite reasonable, to be fair, at the moment.
All right. And then coupled with the fact that Tyrannids realistically only have like 2 good detachments, and the one good detachment you're going to put him into, the detachment rule just gives him sustained hits, so he's not really getting his ability. It's only useful if you run into like a knight army where you're giving all your stuff lethal hits versus monsters and vehicles, and then he gives them sustained hits in addition. But I don't know how often you're seeing that.
I think I said this a little bit last night, right? And I don't know how chat feels about it. I'd love for you to stick it on postcards and let me know what you think about this. But I said this last night. This is the end of the edition, right? This is the last balanced data slate before 11th edition comes out. Here, they had a real chance to fucking shake the meta right up. They could have just gone a bit bonkers. They could have actually come out and communicated and said, we're going a bit bonkers. It's the last part of the edition. It's the final huzzah. Let's go for it. We're just telling you that we're doing this, okay? And they could have made some shit super cheap, and they could have made some shit super expensive, and they could have just really shook the meta up and been like, here's some cool, crazy shit you're going to see for the last 6 months, but it'll be loads of fun.
Yeah.
And they could have done some work then to maybe bring Tyrannids up to kind of scratch with everybody else. And then Tyrannids have just flat been neglected yet again. They've just been... And then they go, oh, here's a cool new model. And he's a cool model, by the way. Like, chat, he's a really cool model, but he's just a bit garbage.
But they're supposed to be fighting a war against Tyrannids at the moment. High Fleet Leviathan's supposed to be tearing through the universe at the moment, causing everyone all kinds of headaches, devouring planets, and like putting the Ultramarines on their knees. And that's not the case. Games Workshop's gone, this is the time of the Ultramarine. Fuck everyone else, right? Huron's detachment's really cool. Huron's detachment's making waves. People are enjoying some success with Huron's detachment, which makes me really, really happy.
Hasn't the main Chaos player switched to the Huron detachment? What's his name? Liam?
Liam VSL, yeah.
Yeah. Hasn't he switched to...
Yeah, and then I know the Huron detachment just won a tournament in London as well. Yeah, so like it's doing well. It's got the ability to smash stuff up. Tau get the incredible models of the Twin Blade, which are also accompanied with insanely good rules. And they have detachments that they could just slip right into, you know, and just operate really, really well. Votan have been begging for a character that can leave their berserks, and they got one now.
Yeah, and he's good.
Yeah, and he's really good.
He's much better than Tyrannid.
And Tyrannids are an army that need just a bit of love.
I don't mean to be making you sad, Joe. I don't. But it is amusing to me that they have done such a shit job with this.
Yeah, and like Tyrannids aren't getting any detachments in this narrative series that they've released.
No, quite. Why would they? It's not like
But Space Marines get more detachments in the new book.
It's fucking mad, isn't it? Oh, I'm here for it.
Yeah,
I'm here for it.
And what's mental, right? You got to think that realistically, within the next 6 months, we're getting an entirely new edition, but also we are essentially going to be getting a new Space Marine Codex.
It's highly likely. We don't know for certain, but it's highly likely. Because there'll be the starter box. They almost always are. Although I was wondering if games, because we've all continuously said they'll be in the starter box because they always were, and I always wonder if we think they're going to throw a curveball, but I actually can't see it.
It's always going to be Space Marines, and so we're getting a new codex. So really, do Space Marines need more detachments?
Yep.
Just before they get a new codex this year.
Yep. Give them more detachments. Let people buy loads of stuff, and then
because whoever's the other half in that starter box set, which I think we're all under the assumption that it's going to be orcs, right? So that's really, I think we might get a third codex this year, but I would imagine it'll be starter box set or launch box set, which will be like a 2-3 week pre-order, you know, and then you've got like a month or two of just that. Then it's whatever the first codex is of the starter box set, then the second starter box set codex, and then you're kind of into like October, November time.
Yeah.
So you might get one, maybe two more, and then it's Christmas. So, yeah.
And then you get Grotmus and 20 Space Marine detachments.
And more space.
Fact.
Yep.
Facts. Right, we're going to do what we have started to do a little bit more lately. We're going to jump into chat earlier and keep up to date with the fan funding stuff because you're all amazing humans. Mr. Cy SJ, who we know,
Yeah.
right? He became a Hasir tier member. He then gifted a member.
Oh.
He then upgraded to Jarl tier member.
Yeah.
What a fucking legend.
He's just all the members.
What an absolute hero. You get access to the Jarl's Only giveaway now, which launches at the end of the month. I think it's normally for the last week of the month. You can enter that for free if you are a Jarl tier or above. And if you enter that for free, you have a random chance that's picked by a bot of winning a combat patrol box or spearhead box of your choice. Alternatively, we can get you a voucher if you're abroad.
And Cy J, he entered me for free last
Did he?
night. Yeah, we played some Warhammer last night.
And he entered you.
Yeah.
What did
I mean,
you- what did you take?
I lost by like 9 points.
What did you take?
It was Votan versus Imperial Fists.
Okay, so
Because
he was Votan.
I'm son of Dawn now.
Yes, you keep telling me this.
I am. As soon as that banner is released by Warhammer Merchandise, I'm on it.
Yeah.
And
What is it about the Imperial Fist that's got you so hooked? Is it Dunarth?
Yeah, I really like Lysander a lot. You know, the Terminator is really cool in there.
Yeah, cool Terminator character. Who knew that Joe would like something that was good with
Yeah.
Terminators?
Illustrious Banner Life. I'm getting a lot of joy like converting them as well because they're like one of the bland chapters, aren't they?
They are. Yeah, they don't have a lot of flavour because.
But they're an army with a lot of heritage and flavour within them. The Games Workshop's not giving them. So like I'm having a lot of fun adding stuff from Heresy to them. So I've got intercessors that I've got given boarding shields, and all my blade guard have got like fancy helmets and stuff. Like because I want to make them like the Huskarls.
I love that. That's cool shit.
I am a Valrak fan, as Kev points out.
I knew that. Is there a
Yeah.
game playing tonight? There is a game playing tonight, and yes, there is indeed a game playing tonight. It's going to be a brutal one.
It's
going to be one of the games of all time.
yeah, it is. It's gonna be pretty
I'm-
savage.
I'm okay with you secretly letting chat loose a little bit tonight with Adam because of what he's bringing,
Yeah.
and actually for that matter, what Paddy's bringing.
Paddy's come to not make friends.
No.
Friends are not in Paddy's wheelhouse at the moment. He's just come here to punish.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's gonna be an interesting one tonight.
It's gonna be brutal. It's two pretty meta lists
Yeah.
bumping into each other hard. But the bonus you've got this week, though, chat, the big bonus you've got this week is they might actually have eaten their food before they go live.
Nah.
Because I think I'm downstairs tonight. If I hear food being eaten on streaming, I'll just pull the fucking plug.
You've eaten food on stream.
Not like that, I haven't.
Not like a man pig. I've never seen a man pack away a burrito that quickly though.
They're quite easy to do, though, from that place. I'll give him some.
Why is there?
We had Mexico on. I think I told you this. We had Mexico on Saturday, and it is a decent takeaway. It is. I am a fan of it. I really like it.
I've got the wrong. What?
Trousers, Gromit. What are you doing? Joe is currently. What are you making, Joe? Talk to the people.
I'm currently trying to build an Archon, but all the sword options only go on one side.
Yeah.
That's super weird. I want a whip and a sword.
Joe is building us a Channel Drakari army because I like all things elves and I've never had a Drakari army, and he wanted to do a Drakari army. I was like, cool, the channel can have an army that I can then use because it's a channel army, but you can build it the way you want to build it and paint it the way you want to paint it. So Mr. Carl of Hodge, I think it was, turned up for the opening weekend, the test weekend, and bought a box of Drakari that he wasn't going to use or get to, which is what Joe has in front of him now.
Yeah.
And so Joe's now building bits from it to try and make more Drakari stuff.
Yeah.
My favourite in the world is witch cults. So if you lean into witch cults, I'll be really happy.
Well, fun fact. That's what it is. Well, witch cults with an absolute boatload of... I swear the left hand and the right hand changed the moment I snipped the fucking thing off.
Well, Makari's Wank Sock, thank you for 1 gifted membership. And then Tank the Unknowing, Joe, he gifted 5 of the finest members.
Thank you, Tank.
Thank you, Tank.
I hope that you... I hope you have a full Indian buffet for dinner tonight.
Ooh, that sounds nice. I fucking love Indian food.
Yeah.
It's a strong hope, Joe. I'm a fan of it.
Yeah.
I want that hope. Thank you, Jarl Tom, who became a Thane on Friday.
Yeah. What y'all talking about?
For 5 gifted memberships.
For 5 gifted memberships, I hope... Oh, that sword's bent.
You hope the sword's bent? It's a weird
No,
hope.
I hope that you get a lobster farm.
Okay.
A farm of lobsters. Don't ask me how that works, but that's what you got.
You get what you're given.
Yeah. They're not all winners, I'm afraid.
No, we are quite aware of that, I think.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you. I think we are all quite aware of that.
Oh, that's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to put that on him.
Living my best life.
Yeah.
Thanks for sorting me out with the repulsion execution. Don't you worry, mate. We've got a couple more in stock now if you want another one.
Oh, they're epics. Just in time for them to go back up in points.
The new AOS Dark Elf ladies would make great Drakari kit bashes, 100%.
Yeah, the new hags are beautiful.
100%.
I was looking at the army box. I was like, if you get the army box, a combat patrol or 2, and then just max out on those hags, you're like living your best life.
Yeah, they are stunning, aren't they? I knew you'd like them. I had no doubt you'd like them.
I had a spare Luminef hat. Look at him. Just can't go very fast because
Can't run forward.
yeah.
Thank you so much, Christopher Sanford, PlayStation Gloucester, for the $20. He says, I think the multiple docks might be a reason for the underwhelm. If the team had summarised for you, then you would have seen things like the extent of different Catan nerfs and might have had more of a view to discuss. I know Brian read that anyway, but I wasn't paying attention because I was panicking too much about the fact that Brian was talking in the first instance. I don't know. It's difficult, isn't it? Because I've always suggested that a summary document would actually be pretty handy.
Well, just to say, they used to do that. I say they used to do them. They did them once, and then basically never again. Where they just like, by the way, this is what's happened, and it doesn't matter what army you're collecting. Here's all the information you need to know. And then they just never did it again.
Yeah, which is an odd choice, right?
Yeah.
Because it's quite a helpful thing to do.
Yeah, just be like, by the way, this is what's changed.
Hey, you know that thing we did that was really helpful? Let's not do that again.
What I imagine what probably happened was they were like, oh, this actually requires work and for someone to go and do it. And they were like, nah.
Maybe.
Nah.
Maybe.
I need...
Thank you. Anyway, thank you for the $20. I don't know. It's. I think it was just. I said this to you guys last night, right? I think I was really excited to go through the first balanced data slate without being a previewer with you live because I was like, look, if we can't get preview content, let's make the most of it. Let's do actual reactions to a balanced data slate. And then the changes were just kind of nothing, and I was like, okay. And you're right. There has been a nerf to Catan. They've got a slight points increase. The Silent King. It doesn't buff them anymore. I don't think there's actually really been that much of a nerf to them at all. I still think it's a very viable build.
They're really, really good. Basically, if you want to run loads of Catan, you just don't really need to take the Silent King anymore. Or you can still take the Silent King, but they could just spread out more.
Yeah, you can take the Silent King. The Catan are now less efficient than they were, granted, but they still clap.
If you're still taking loads of Doomsday Arcs, he just hangs around with them.
And if you do get rid of the Silent King, you've got loads of points for other things that can go and score.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think... I saw a post on Instagram. Someone was like, oh my God, It's so unfair. Catan went up 10 points,
Yeah.
and then the follower was like, hang on, Catan only went up 10 points.
Yeah. I think they got away with that a little bit, don't you?
Yeah, they got away with it quite well. I am on a massive elf high at the moment, though. I want to get my Imperial Fists done, but I am really looking forward to doing my Corsairs as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. This old. I also, like, for building these, I went into my garage. In my garage, I've had them for many, many years. Just like Drakari spare bits that I've hoarded over many editions.
They haven't sold enough Catan yet. Well, I still think the build's I still genuinely think the build's quite good.
Oh yeah, they're still super good. I still think you're going to see 4 Catan lists. I think you're still going to see armies of Catan doing well.
And leggies.
Yeah.
Thank you anyway, Chris, for the $20, man. You're a legend. Thank you, Gareth Thomas, for 5 gifted memberships.
Thank you. Why is it the moment you drop something that's got super glue on it, every piece of hair within a 10-mile radius just glues to it?
Someone from London's trying to phone me.
So from London?
London town.
There you go. I've made an Archon with a fancy hat and a plume.
A plume.
And then I dug this lady out from my garage, which I built her earlier. It's one of the Daughters of Cain from Underworlds. I had this literally in 9th edition when the triptych whip was a thing, and I never got round to building it before I got rid of my Drakari army. So it just kind of stayed just in an envelope in my garage. I built her today.
She's fucking cool.
It's cool. She's got like a big whip that's like going around.
I remember the triptych whip. That's mental, wasn't it?
And I am going super Sky Serpent on this army as well. And my Corsairs, where it's just like different heads, different arms.
This is actually quite a nice model.
Yes. Super good.
Triptych whip. What a 9. Rusty butthole. No, rusty bullet hole. I mean,
rusty what hole?
Bullet hole. I thought it was rusty butthole.
You don't want a rusty butthole.
You don't want that, no. Did we give a hope to Gareth Thomas? Did we say thank you for 5 gift memberships to him?
Thank you, 5.
I think we did.
Gareth Thomas.
Did we give him another one just in case?
I hope that you...
Oh, he just said no hope. I see how it is. Sorry.
I hope that you become the owner of a therapeutic equestrian centre.
Oh. We're on 17 members, Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're still in search of that high member number so I can buy you your ticket to Newport.
One of these days.
One of these days you might get to...
Well, they need to do it quickly because they don't want it to sell out.
Fair. Reasonable. I don't think Games actually won't risk it that much, I'll be honest.
I think Newport's fine. It's the UK Games Expo one, which is probably very much in danger.
Yeah, well, they should have fucking did what they did, shouldn't they? I have a lack of sympathy for it, I'll be honest. Like, I'm normally pretty understanding of Games Workshop.
Yeah.
But, like we said on Tuesday, Warcom has done so many fuck-ups that I've kind of lost all the sympathy.
Yeah, people are kind of a bit done with it, aren't they? They're just like,
Like, if you make a fuck-up, people can forgive you. If you make that same fuck-up a second time, people are going to start to be like, you should be doing something about this.
Yeah.
If you've made that fuck-up 4, 5, 6 times, you're just not bothering to change your processes.
No.
And so you're just being negligent. And ultimately, I think that's what's happened.
My hope is what's going to happen now is before Warcom posts anything, there's going to be a it's going to have to be someone's job that will have to read them and be like, is this correct? You know, is the information that we are giving right? Will this mistake cost us loads of money?
Yeah.
Because if you think like if Games Workshop had to refund 100 tickets, right, at £125 each, they've not just lost £125, they've lost the money to process that payment in the first place.
Normally around something like 2 to 3%. It'd be better for them because they're a big business, but it won't be cheap.
Let's assume it's like 2%, right? So that's what, £2.50.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Good maths, Jay.
yeah, and then there's a refund charge, which will probably be another £2.50. So they're losing £500.
Yeah.
Once they've refunded all that money, they've lost it, and then they've still agreed to hire that hall.
Oh yeah, they're not pulling out of that.
Yeah. So the money they would have thought that they were recouping on running this event, which would have probably paid for the hall hire and their staff's wages and any exciting things they thought about doing, they're now just going to have to just swallow that.
Oh well. Good job to make loads of money, isn't it? I'm sure they'll be more than happy to swallow that cost just for their fan base.
Last time I looked, I think they'd only sold like 8.
I think it's on more than that now.
Actually, but I was the math anyway. If they sold all of the tickets, they would have made 40 grand.
We need a bigger venue, Joe.
But now they're not making £40,000. They're making considerably less. But I think like people are understanding. Wargamers are understanding. I think if Games Workshop was open and honest from the get-go and put those tickets up for 125 grand and said £125 and said, these tickets are expensive, but we are hiring the hall at UK Games Expo, which is not cheap.
Yeah, and UK Games Expo know we're Games Workshop. So
Yeah,
we're paying a
so
premium.
they're going to be charging us even more. And so the cost is basically to reflect hiring that hall. Because those halls charge like 3-4 grand just to access the internet in the building. Like, so if Games Workshop want to stream games, they're going to have to pay a large sum of money just to do that. So I think if they were just a bit honest about where that money was going, I think it would be fine. And also, if someone wasn't stupid enough to say that you'd have to buy entry to UK Games Expo.
When they first retconned it, did they straight away put the article note that said there was a previous version of this, or did that take time?
I think it was like straight away.
Okay, that's better than I was expecting.
I think the tickets had already gone on sale. So the tickets had already been up. And then obviously they would have received some complaints. I forgot how fiddly which models were. Good Lord. Good heavens.
Gordon's alive. Your favourite man. Your 60 quid meet and greet.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Nick, for the $5. He says, I stand by my meme in Thanes. Oh, look, damage 3. And look, more damage 3. But yes, otherwise, utter dogger. 5 points more spelly than a Master of Executions, by the way. 5 points more than a Mo.
Yeah. And Master Executions are bloody incredible.
Super chat time, right? One thing you'd rather have than this new Tyrannid Prime.
I mean, that's a pretty easy list to write.
Go on, what's the one thing you'd rather... I mean, you could say anything, though. You say it's an easy list to write, but you could say literally anything. You could say the Twin Blade, or you could say hemorrhoids, Joe.
Yeah. You know,
Both true.
I would rather have my testicles clamped in a car door. You know,
that's quite a strong one. Okay, you did well there.
It's
You did well there.
yeah, it's just
It's depressingly bad, isn't it?
yeah.
Anyway, thank you, Nick, for the $5. Damage 3 is great until you find out that I guess they changed it with the Victrix, but they go, everyone's damage 4. Also, by the way, can we talk about this, right? The Votan character.
Yeah.
He is toughness 6
Yeah.
and like 8 wounds,
Yeah.
right? A Space Marine Terminator character. How many wounds did Jay?
6.
What toughness is he?
5.
How is a half-naked dwarf,
Yeah.
right, tougher with more wounds than a man in tactical dreadnought armour?
Yeah, it is wild, isn't it?
And even if you don't want to make the actual Terminators mental, the character, the Space Marine Captain in Terminator armour, a Space Marine Captain in Terminator armour is toughness 5 with 6 wounds, right? And a little half-naked dwarf man is tougher with more wounds.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Like, that seems mental to me.
Oh, it's insane. But I suppose they have to play into that kind of dwarf slayer vibe, don't they?
They don't have to.
That's what berserks are, though, aren't they? They're basically 40k slayers.
They are essentially 40k slayers, yeah. That's probably how I'd look at them. So, you know. But thank you, Nick. Anyway, you're a legend. Thank you, Necromaniac, for the $5. The Prime on foot just confirms to me that Games Workshop either doesn't care about Tyrannids this edition or is incapable of writing good rules for them. Interesting. Where do you sit on that fence, Joe?
I think it's it might be just like the curse of the launch box set army, because Space Marines are always good all the way through. You know, Space Marines are never bad, but they're still playable a lot of the time. But the other army in the box set often quite tends to suffer because it's the first codex in the edition, and then it's just kind of left to stew. And when the codex was launched, it was an incredibly good, well-balanced book. But its army rule was not the same as Oath, you know. Its detachments weren't the same level as Oath. But you're like, this is a good, all right codex. This is balanced. We can live with this. It's good. But then the rest of the edition just didn't get the memo.
No, quite.
And Games Workshop's never really done anything to level it out. And also, it's been one of those weird editions where if you were good in 9th, you are not good in 10th. And Tyrannids were very good in 9th. And I think they've paid for that. Like, Warriors were insanely... Warriors you couldn't wound on a 1, 2, or 3. Hyper resilient. And now they literally just fold.
They do.
Really bad. Everything's AP2 in a Power Armor edition. So... Like your monsters don't really feel like monsters. The Swarm Lord struggles to kill Space Marines. Like Carnifexes are hot garbage because the only Carnifexes on the table that are good are the ones that are with Old One Eye.
No Old One Eye, no party, right?
Yeah, if there's no Old One Eye, you just don't put Carnifexes on the table.
Yeah, that's fair.
So like their only real build is just all shooting all the time. And that's about it. Because being toughness 3, 1 wound gaunts, like a horde army, you just evaporate. And you don't have the kind of shenanigans that the Eldar can pull by like fading away. Because you want to, as a Tyrannid player, you want to play proper narrative kind of Nids, where you just kind of swarm everywhere. Whereas Eldar's like MSU, 5-man squad, jump out, shoot something, delete it, run away. I just think Games Workshop just don't know what to do with them.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
I think it's just a case of, and it might be a case that like there's no one on the rules team that plays them. You know, there could be there is sometimes such a thing in game development as just army bias, you know, and they've gone, yeah, Tyranids are fine. People buy Tyranids. People love Tyranids. We don't need to do any. Like maybe Tyranids suffer from the same problem that the Space Marine Reavers have. You know, a lot of people collect Tyranids and a lot of people buy Tyranids. So Games Workshop just assume that Tyranids are that people like Tyranids and will just continue to buy them.
Yeah.
So their rules don't really get touched. You know, Reavers. Games Workshop sells fuckloads of Reavers, but they're not good. But Games Workshop's not doing anything about them, and the reason being is that people just continue to buy them.
Yeah, you're the problem, people.
Like, if Games Workshop stopped selling Reavers, then I imagine their rules would probably get changed pretty quickly.
It's possible, I guess.
Yeah. So do what you did with Birmingham and vote with your wallet. You know. Is Birmingham the first time that the Warhammer community has really like voted with its wallet on something?
It might be.
Where the community's just collectively just gone, no.
I'm kind of here for it though, Joe. I'll be honest. Like, I don't think it's a bad thing.
I don't think it's a bad thing, and I hope like people don't like it when I say this because it's the truth. Is that Games Workshop is a learning machine, right? When Games Workshop makes mistakes, it learns from it. It's just a very slow ship to turn.
Yeah.
You know, things take a long time to get through, especially in both rules writing and model design. And you got to think like the lead time on the stuff to being released is years because it has to go back to the drawing board. It has to get redesigned, and then they have to pay someone to go through a development process of like R&D, and then it has to go and be made, and it has to be shipped around the world, and then be sold, and that can take a really long time. But we as people live in a world of instantaneous gratification,
We
right?
do. Which is bad for us.
Which is bad. We need, as a people, to learn to just wait, and because we all want something super fast. Like Games Workshop does get a lot of hate because they haven't fixed it immediately.
Yeah. The irony being, you and I are also quite patient, impatient even.
So it's just like, Games Workshop fix this, and like Games Workshop's like, we are fixing it. The problem will get resolved. It'll just take some time.
This goes back to that age-old argument, though, Jojo. Communicate.
Yeah.
Communicate with your fan base.
But I think communication has always been Games Workshop's problem.
Yeah, I agree with you. And the problem I have with it is, and I do agree with you, but the problem I have with it is I think it's an easy problem to fix.
Oh yeah, you just do it.
They're more Games Workshop are more secretive than some government agencies. I don't understand why.
Well, they kind of got the Disney complex where like everything has to be hidden behind a veiled door and no secrets can get out.
Yeah.
Whereas many, many years ago, it was a system of let's just put everything on display. But then we do live in a time now where Games Workshop can't trust its player base. Well, not as a broad stroke, but more of a case of there's factions within its player base that it cannot trust. Games Workshop literally unveils a new model that will be released in 3 months, right? Within a 3-month span. In less than a week, someone will have scanned that picture and created a 3D sculpt.
A
bad one, and then be selling it. And then on Facebook, you have the 3D printer goes burr crowd.
They can get in the sea.
I fucking hate them, right? And then it's like that model's out there then. Like Games Workshop can't keep up with the 3D printing like pirates, you know?
Yeah.
But those 3D printing pirates will be the first ones to complain when
the hobby dies.
When the hobby dies. You know, they're the first ones to complain that like, oh, you've stolen someone's someone's IP.
Yeah.
You know?
Don't use green stuff well because they're an evil company.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm stealing IP and printing it for myself and selling it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that crowd.
Yeah. Don't use these paints. They're not friendly, you know. Or they stole the names.
I'm all about morals, but you're copying intellectual miniatures. Well, they're an evil corporation. Right, brilliant. Okay, great argument. Well done, mate.
And it's just like,
what's Joe's favourite unit? The new Tyrannid Prime.
what's my favourite unit?
Yeah, he said,
But what?
I'm a bit late. What's Joe's new favourite unit? I said the Tyrannid Prime. That's what the stream title is. Joe's new favourite unit. Auto take. Wait till the next Tyrannid game. 3 Tyrannid Primes.
Maybe 1, you know. But what thing is, like, what I need is combat warriors for him to lead, right? Mm-hmm.
Please, Liam, can I have some more?
No, I refuse to get them.
Why?
I refuse to get combat warriors because it's a £40 box set for 3 models that are like, the models are okay, but the rules are terrible. You have to spend £80 for like 80 points.
Right.
And they're just not good.
You have to spend £80 for 80 points, but you're also a guard player. Like,
Where
so you
you
already
spend,
do that.
yeah, but you spend £40 on 60 points.
Fair.
Yeah, they're just not. And like, part of me thinks that how he's designed the new guy, and how the winged Tyrannid Prime is designed, I think we're going to get new warriors anyway.
You reckon?
Let me just check there.
I mean, they do look slightly different in terms of scaling and stuff.
So they're much more crustacean-y, I think
Yeah.
I described it the other day, where they're a lot more longer-limbed and knobbly-bobbly. Hang on, let me just check the...
Oh, we're on 38 members right now, chat.
I'm pretty sure...
38.
2
away from 40.
Tyrannid...
12 away from 50. 62 away from 100. 162 away from 200.
Does anyone else have it where you type in a couple letters and then it just deletes the word?
Yeah.
That you I hate it.
Games Workshop website, mate. It's top notch.
Oh, I thought Tyrannid Warriors were direct order only, but they're not. But they are £40 for 3 models. And, you know, I might be wrong on the points. But
I'm going to be honest with you, Joe. I'm enjoying this far more than I feel like I should.
Also, taking Tyrannid Warriors away from troops choices, I think, was a massive mistake.
Yeah?
Yeah. Tyrannid Warriors with melee weapons
Melee!
are 75 points. They have 6 attacks, sitting on 3, strength 5, AP 2, damage 1, twin linked. And in combat, at the start of the fight phase, you either pick reroll hit rolls of 1 or reroll saving throws of 1. But you're not going to pick 3 roll saving rolls of 1 when you've got a 4-up save. It's just a waste of... You're only ever going to pick reroll hit rolls of 1.
I think I'm just going to glue the whole thing together.
So it's £80 for a 150 point unit that just evaporates.
Yeah, you're not selling them to me. I'm going to be honest
No.
with you. I don't think you're trying to either. I think you're
No, I'm not trying to sell
terrible,
them. Like, I think you can make the Tyrannid Warrior models look nice, like with a bit of work and a bit of posing and a little bit of green stuff. I think you can make a nice looking unit. But the moment anyone devotes any kind of meaningful shooting towards them, they just disappear.
Didn't realize it's so expensive. It's very expensive, this hobby.
Yeah.
Very expensive. Even more expensive when everyone in chat gives 5 memberships. Right now.
Yeah.
Right
Just
now.
Just goo it all over us.
Yeah. Yeah, go it all over us, chat, like Joe said. Because that makes sense.
I'd like to see a new warrior kit, to be fair.
Would you?
I'd like them to do with the warriors what they did to Raveners, and then just sell them as a 5-man box set.
See, yeah.
instead of a 3-man.
I'm thinking about taking a gamble because I think that they might have in 11th edition new crisis suits for Tau.
Yeah.
And Tony and I were talking yesterday, and new crisis suits for Tau, if you think about the Twin Blade, if you think about Farsight, if you think about the Cold Star Commander kit, new crisis suits for Tau done well could mean I'm in danger. I'm not a person who cares about breachers or pathfinders or all that shit. Mech suits, go.
Yeah. Tau's an army that I'd like to build and paint but have no interest in playing. Like, they're just really nice models. I'd play a Kroot army, I think.
Oh, I fucking love Kroot. Absolutely love Kroot.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you, grumpy old guy, for the $10. Joe, I hope the rest of your days goes well after you enlighten me with the fact that my 40 Death Riders and Drea now have a target stomp.
Yeah.
What's that mean?
Yeah, Death Riders kill Tyrannid warriors so easy. Like,
Death Riders actually kill a fair amount.
yeah. Yeah, the 10-man brick with Drea, like, I know I give it a lot of shit. Like, into the right stuff can kill it quite comfortably.
Crisis suits, Nid Warriors, Shrikes, and Grey Knights, I think, are coming 11th. I hope so. It's a lovely community. It's an amazing community.
Yeah.
Customer the other day spent £80 on a Magic card, so that makes me feel somewhat better. Yeah.
Magic the Gathering is...
Magic the Gathering makes
it's gone
Warhammer players...
crazy.
Magic the Gathering makes Warhammer players look poor.
Yeah. When Magic players like, oh, I prefer Magic to 40k, it's just so much more convenient. And I'm like, yeah, but it's so much more expensive.
It is more expensive. Well, no, it doesn't have to be.
It depends if you how relevant you want to stay.
Right.
I think the problem with Magic the Gathering. Because Magic the Gathering releases are they're just shotgunning out like multiverse stuff.
Someone said to me, there's a court case coming because Magic the Gathering are doing too many releases, and I was like, I don't think that's true. I don't think a court can tell a business how much they're allowed to release.
I would imagine someone is trying to take them to court.
Do I glue the head in, or do I just leave it off?
Just glue it all together.
Just glue it.
Just glue it.
Joe said so, chat.
Just glue it all together and just paint it all together.
Because he knows what I'm like.
But if you glue it all together and you don't paint it and you give it to someone, at least we know all the pieces will be there.
That's true. That
Just
is true.
talking from experience.
That is true.
Like, me and Paddy were talking the other day where he got all the Sisters of Battle off you and then discovered that they had no backpacks.
Yeah. We did. We just needed to find them.
Yeah. And I'm like, and you were like, oh, I don't glue them on because I want to paint behind the backpacks.
Yeah.
I'm like, why? You can't see it. You're
I know it's
just,
there, though.
wasting time and effort painting something that no one will ever see.
But I know it's there.
I know, but like, does it affect how you use it on the table?
It affects me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, change you.
No, I don't want to change me. I quite like me, Jay. Thanks, mate.
I didn't say anything.
No, you didn't need to.
I was just shaking
Your
my
silence.
head. I dropped my model. I was concentrating on
Your
the legs.
silence spoke
the legs,
volumes there, Jay.
The legs that I just dropped.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn the aircon off. I'm literally cutting glass right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You're a bit chilly right now. I'm all right. I did come up here in my shirt and was like, oh my God, he's put the aircon on cold. And I went down and got my hoodie from downstairs. In the meantime, thank you, Kianon, for 5 gifted memberships.
Thank you, Kianon. I hope that you are given a brand new Porsche 911 Carrera convertible, ready for the summer sun, and a nice pair of sunglasses to wear. I realised when I was driving into work the other day that I need to buy some sunglasses
Yeah?
because I threw my last pair away with the car.
Were they bad?
Yeah, the thing is though, I never spend more than £5 on sunglasses
Oh.
because they always just get scratched up and
Well, look after them better
just
then.
left in the car. So
I've got a pair of Oakleys
Yeah.
that I've probably had for like 4 or 5 years at least.
Yeah.
Because they just last. Look after them, they just last.
I had a really nice pair of Oakley like aviators, which I had because they were left at the pub that I worked at. And then
I don't think aviators would suit me.
I had them for a long time. I loved those ones, and then they were stolen from me. They just continued. They just continued their journey.
It all comes around in circles, Joe,
And then
doesn't it?
someone else, I hope, stole them from them. It's like the sisterhood of the travelling pants, you know, or the travelling trousers. Like mine's like the brotherhood of the travelling aviators.
Chat, we're now 1 membership away from 40, 11 away from 50. Because, you know, that's how maths works. Thank you, Cray, who did a sterling job helping us out, because he gifted 10 of the 5 memberships, JJ Beans.
Oh, thank you, Cray. I hope, Cray, that you get to redesign the label for baked beans.
Okay. Is that a desirable?
I imagine it's a paid job.
I mean, anything that's like marketing for a major company would be a paid job, yeah.
And whatever you do, they just accept,
Right, okay.
you know?
How would you relabel baked beans, Joe?
I don't know. It's not my job anymore. It's Craig's job now. I always drop shit here.
Yeah, here's a terrible place to drop shit as well, because 1, we don't have the main lights on, and 2, the carpet, it just kind of all blends in.
Yeah. Also, we've not hovered in a while. It's kind of.
We haven't, have we?
I'm not here as much, so
No, quite.
I'm just too busy.
Have we got
doing
pin
stuff.
vices out back? We have got pin vices, haven't we?
Yeah. And teeny weeny little drills.
Teeny weeny.
What do you need a pin vice for?
To drill the gun. Drill the plasma barrel.
That's lame.
You're lame. Thank you, Chris Sanford, for the 2 bucks. So I said, what would you rather have than a Tyrannid Prime? Christopher Sanford said, damage 2 Tyrannid Warriors.
Oh.
Smeg for Brain said, gout.
Yeah.
Stefan says, the clap and 2 days to live, rather than that nid.
I mean, damage 2 warriors would go a long way to fixing warriors. You'd either remove twin linked or give them less attacks.
Gareth says, a winning Wales rugby team. You're asking for a lot there, mate, I'll be honest. Nick the Kazarian says, Titus's mortal mate who has the same wounds as Custodes.
Yeah.
Beautiful, thank you. Thank you, Smeg for Brain, for the 1 gifted as well. And then thank you, Siggy's Boy, for 5 gifted memberships. I'm going to go look for a pin vice.
Thank you, Siggy's Boy, for 5 good memberships. I hope that you get to. I hope that you are given a plot of 25 acres of woodland, which you can build a wonderful little cabin on. You know, maybe like a 3-bedroom one with obviously good internet, you know, Wi-Fi, running water, gas, electrics, with maybe like a jacuzzi on it. You just live there.
Like that. Strong. Strong. Thank you also to Siggy's Boy for becoming a Jarl tier member.
What you're talking about?
Also get access to the giveaway. And then thank you, Tank the Unknowing, for 5 gifted memberships.
5 more, Tank. I hope, Tank, that everywhere you go for the rest of the year, you are taken there by a personal chauffeur.
Ooh. Thank you, TJ. Was that broken? That's literally broken. For fuck's sake. Thank you, TJ, for the 10 bucks. I think Games Workshop could easily compete with 3D printing if they just dropped prices by 10% or so, or make an essential kits range, e.g. Intercessors and Guardsmen, 25% cheaper. £40 characters are mad. Discuss, Joe, because I agree with a lot of that. Because I don't think they need to charge what they charge.
I agree that they could probably charge about 10% less. Like, the hobby doesn't need to be as expensive as it is. I think it would make it more accessible for people, you know? I think more people would come and actually play the game if they could just afford to buy it. Like, I'm obviously in the privileged position where I can just look sad until Liam buys it for me, whereas a lot of people can't do that. And I think realistically, if I didn't work here, I'd probably own 1, maybe 2 armies, and they wouldn't even be big armies because it's just too expensive. Like nowadays, and I think I think if you're trying to get into the hobby, it's a real hard sell, I think. And it's just not. I just don't think the hobby is accessible for a lot of people. But I think if they drop the price by 10%, like I think also communications-wise, when you think the Games Workshop go, we've had a record-breaking year and we've made millions upon millions of profit, we're also increasing the prices. It's just like a spit in the face. I would argue that realistically, no kit should be over £40-45. The fact that like the Nightbringer is as much money as it is and it comes on a sprue this size is I would almost say it's a con.
I'm torn. I don't necessarily have a problem with some kits being over £40. I don't have an issue with that, but I think for the most part, what TJ's saying, I agree with. Like I think they overcharge a lot, and the pricing kind of strategy is a strange one, right? Because it's just we probably can get away with selling it for this, so let's just sell it for that, rather than this is what it should be because of the value of it, etc. Like, and the thing is, we're all the problem because we keep buying it.
Yeah, but we love it. That's the problem.
I do love it.
You know, the value of stuff is always what people are willing to pay for it, and that's why like things like art is insane. Like just like the amount of money that people will pay for a picture of a dog smoking a cigarette. You know, it's like we keep buying it. And it's a Games Workshop will keep charging it. And then every time Games Workshop puts the prices up, they know that we'll complain, because we always do, and then we'll buy it anyway. But also I do think Games Workshop is learning, and the prices of things do come down. You know, we have seen it where the stuff that's in Kill Team gets released on general sale and it's actually made cheaper. And sold for cheaper because it doesn't have a pointless piece of fucking cardboard in it. My hope is that when the new Tyrannid Codex comes out, you know, the Raveners go on general release outside of Kill Team and they get cheaper. And that would be lovely.
Beautiful. Right in the middle.
You also got to think like things like, and they can sell stuff for cheaper that they choose not to. If you think like we're spending 25, 30 quid, or well, mostly 30 quid on a single character model, right? But then Underworld, like, was it Shadespire teams with 25 quid?
Yeah.
And you'd get 5-6 models in that, which are all of character quality. And just because it's made of a cheaper coloured plastic. And I'm like, I'd have no issue with buying all my models in a cheaper coloured plastic.
I would. I don't like it.
No?
No, I don't like it. But I've also heard lots of rumours. None of this is necessarily substantiated.
How did it end up all the way over here?
But I've heard lots of rumours. I've heard rumours that once the mould paid for itself based on product sales,
Yeah.
it actually costs them more to print the picture on the box than it does to fill it with the plastic.
Yeah.
So it's got to cost them like, for a box of models that's 40 quid, it's got to cost them like £2. It's got to. It's got to.
In just plastic.
In just plastic, right? So £2 to make it, and then they sell it for 40. You need to do that? Like, if you think about margins, most people work on GP of somewhere between 30 and 50%, right?
Yeah.
GP gross profit. So if you buy an item for £1, you want to try and sell it in your shop for £2. So you go wholesaler, buy it for £1, sell it in your shop for £2. You make 50% margin. Then what you can do is you can take those £2, you can go buy 2 items for £1 each, sell them for £2 each, you made £4, etc., etc. Business, right? Business. So, and I think that's reasonable. I think when you start to get more than 50% GP, you're starting to just be greedy. In my opinion, I genuinely believe it. You know, some things operate at a lower GP. Chocolate, for example, operates normally at a lower GP because sugar tax.
To play devil's advocate in this situation.
Okay, go for it. I'm here for it, mate.
Should an Apple phone cost £1,500?
No.
But they still charge it, and everyone there's more phones out there than there are warhams. You know, like there's literally homeless people with iPhones, right? So like, I think companies know that if you want it, you will get it.
Wait, his arm doesn't actually touch his body.
Oh,
That's fucking weird.
it's like Rayman with his little floating hands and floating head and.
Okay. Fine. That's what it is. That's what it is. It's fucking sick.
Yeah, I think.
I wasn't sure if I'd enjoy this model actually.
But also, you got to
actually
think,
loving
right?
it.
How much does it like cost realistically for Games Workshop to like the value of the plastic might be £2 when it's produced, but I guess like they've got to pay someone to put that plastic in a box, you know, move it to somewhere onto a conveyor belt where it gets like then wrapped in cellophane, and then someone has to move it into a warehouse, and then that warehouse has to be distributing the product, you know. Like the amount of money that Games Workshop must spend on rent for all of its shops, because those a lot of those shops probably aren't covering their own rent.
I imagine they're just using them as advertising shop windows.
Yeah.
Essentially.
So the product is also paying for Games Workshop's just lost revenue on rent, I imagine. And it's also spending it on fuel and travel costs. Like so many members of staff get shipped around the world to events just to be there. Where Games Workshop's not really making any money.
Which and I get it. I get what you're saying.
Yeah. And
if their financial reports showed that they were close to breaking even, you go, okay, so all the money we're spending on models is being swallowed.
Yeah.
Because it's because of your operating costs, because of your fucking monthly OPEX, right?
Yeah.
Their OPEX is so high because of all the shops and all the stores and all the staff, and their OPEX will be astronomically high. The fact of the matter is they're still advertising and announcing record profits, and shareholder payouts. So, like, as much as I massively appreciate how much it costs to run that business, well, I don't appreciate it actually because I haven't got a clue. I can't imagine it's a small amount. It's got to cost a lot to run that business. It's got to cost a lot to have all that staff and have all those things in place. I appreciate that. I do. However, you're announcing record profits year on year. So clearly, you're still charging so much on your product that they're not announcing small profits, Joe. They're announcing massive profits. Massive profits that means they can give every single staff member a fucking $3,000 bonus.
Yeah.
They've not got 10 staff, have they?
No.
You know? So, I don't know. I have concerns over the cost at the moment because it could, the greed could kill the hobby.
Yeah. But then we also, I think, like a lot of the individual products are quite expensive, but we're also getting more and more army boxes released. Have you noticed that, like, this year, and I say the last 12 months, the amount of releases of mega army box sets that have gone up, is crazy. Like we've had like,
which are great value, by the way.
10 chaos ones in the last.
They are
year.
great value.
Yeah.
They're really good value.
Every Age of Sigmar release comes with a new spearhead, an army box, and the little battalions. You know, the little regiments of renown.
Yeah.
So they're choosing what units you get the savings on, but there are savings there to be had. It's like when the Doors of Cain stuff got announced, I was like, there is a way I could get this army for a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
Than like buying it all individually. I think like if you're someone who bought every single Emperor's Children army box they've released, you'd never have to buy an individual box set.
Well, we I put an order in for some of the new pre-order stuff.
Yeah.
And I basically said, have you got any more of those big Corsair boxes, the Eldar and the Red Corsairs one?
Yeah.
I said, yeah. I was like, cool. And I ordered 4 more of each to put on our shelves because they're just incredible savings.
Oh, yeah.
Incredible, like 50% savings is mad good. So I was like, can I have more of those? Well, we've also got all the individual kits, like Vipers. I was like, yeah, I'll have a couple of those, but can I just have 4 of the big ones because they're just a better saving?
Yeah.
Like, it's just a better sell to customers going, if you buy this separately, it'll cost you 250 quid.
Yeah.
If you buy it in this box, it'll cost you 150 quid. Easy sale, that, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
Or an easier sale, I should say. It's not necessarily an easy sale because it's still 100 and fucking something quid for that box. So yeah, so I asked for 4 more. Because I'm kind of here for the army boxes at the moment because I think the rest of it is getting so ridiculously expensive.
Yeah.
But I'm lucky. We run it as a business, so I get to business expense a lot of it. And I'm still getting to a point where I'm like, fucking hell, how much is it costing?
Yeah, that's why I like. Obviously, I'm building a Drukhari army at the moment, but like I said to Liam, I want to do less new armies and just kind of round out the ones that we do have. Because it's like to get a full unless it's an Emperor's Children release, which was a fucking joke, right? Where they get 4 units. It's very hard to do just full armies now. You know,
TJ says, I think the pricing is off-putting to new people. So they have played Space Marine 2, come into the Games Workshop store, so the price of a toilet they have to build themselves. Currently, they aren't hobbyists.
Yeah.
It's worse than that as well. And I've seen this firsthand. I've seen this happen, and I don't know how many of you would have also seen this in a Warhammer shop. It's normally the worst when it's mum that comes in with the kid as well.
Yeah.
And they go in and they have a look round. How much is this box of models? It's £37.50. Oh, that's not too bad. Okay, yeah. All right. It's expensive, but it's not the worst in the world. No worries, little Jimmy. You can have this box of Space Marines. Oh, by the way, madam, this is the Games Workshop stuff. He's going to need to build them. So you're going to need some snips. You're going to need some glue. You need a hobby blade. Cool, okay, so that's another 35 quid minimum, right?
Yeah.
Probably more with Games Workshop's tool prices. And then he's going to want to paint them because you can't just have them grey. So here's a can of primer for £12, and then he's actually going to have to put some colour on top of that as well. So here's 10 paints for another £30, and here's 2 paintbrushes for another £20, and it goes on and on. He's going to put some sand on the base. You can't not have a sanded base. You've got to put some sand on the base. And before you know it, she's like, cool, so I went to buy £40 worth of models for little Jimmy, and I've walked out with fucking 200 quid worth of stuff just to get those. And they'll go, but you only have to buy this stuff once because then you'll be able to paint the whole army with it. So that's how they kind of go, it's worth it because you only have to do it once.
Yeah. Is that why most dads get their kids into the hobby?
I think so, yeah.
Because men are more irresponsible.
Men are definitely more responsible.
I think we also find it easier to justify the cost. Like,
yeah.
Because I was always like a bottle of wine is a tenner, right? A drinkable bottle of wine, right? So you buy 4 bottles of wine in a week, you know, if you're one of those kind of saucy households. I don't really drink alcohol, but like if you buy 4 bottles of wine, you've spent 40 quid. You know, and after you drank those 4 bottles of wine,
They're gone.
They're gone.
I pound per enjoyment hour for me. This hobby is still worth it.
And I think that's why. I think that's how Games Workshop justify a lot of the prices. You think like you've spent £300, right? But you still have £300 worth of product in 3 years' time. You know, and depending on the quality of your painting and your building ability, is also a chance that like its value is increased.
Oh, 100%. There's people that buy £300 of a product, put some time in it, and sell it for £700.
Yeah.
That happens. Not me, but that happens.
So, like, it's not unreasonable to say that like the cost of Warhammer, the cost of Warhammer is fluctuating. There's some people that think that what they've done and they've created is worth loads, and you wouldn't be able to give it to me for free. I've gone. All you've done is do you hate models?
Yeah. Why have you abused it?
Yeah. There's times where I've tried to buy something second hand and they've gone, it's this much money, and I'm like, no, no, I'm done now. I'm out.
I've got a story about something like that.
Yeah?
Which is not for the stream.
Oh, okay.
Remind me later.
Okay. But I think the value of the hobby is right if the more money you invest, the more it's worth and the more you do it. I think Warhammer is a god awful casual hobby.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't think you... can you do it casually? That's a stream topic, that, mate, I reckon.
Yeah. Because...
It's probably a stream topic. Can you play Warhammer casually?
Because if you want to play Warhammer and have fun and learn to do it properly, your first army is never your first army.
No.
Right?
Nor is it last.
Because, say, little Timmy is teenage Timothy.
Teenage Timothy, right?
Timothy,
okay.
right? His friends all play the Warhams, and he's like, I want to get into Warhams, and I have a job, a part-time job, along with my education, right?
Go on, Timmy.
Good on you, Timmy.
Well on,
right?
mate.
And he goes, well, how much does it cost to get in? He goes, oh, that's a lot of part-time work, but I can probably make it work, you know, if I get the combat patrols, if I get that army box that's £100 or £120, I can make it work in a couple of months. I can have a full army, you know? And then he builds that army, paints it to the best of ability, and starts playing that army. And he goes, oh, this Death Guard army that I bought, because the models are sick as fuck, right? It's pretty slow. Everyone's running rings around me, you know? I'm not really into a tanky army. My friend Tarquin has an Eldar army.
Does he? Good old Tarquin.
Tarquin, typical Eldar name, player name. I like that. I like the play style of that. How do I get an army like Tarquin? And he goes, Tarkers, how much did you spend? You know? And he goes, don't.
Tark is the normal nickname for a man called Tarquin, is it, Joe?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so that person goes, cool, I want to play Eldar now. I have to sell my Death Guard because I want to get the Eldar quickly. And the cost of that probably won't cover the cost of an Eldar army because points to pounds, Eldar's a lot more expensive.
Yeah. And Tarkus has talked him into it.
Yeah. He's an enabler, Tarkus. And so basically, so to get to a point where you're actually enjoying the hobby, you've probably not spent 300-400 quid. You've probably spent about 800-900 quid on just models, right? If you sell the first army and make some money back, you know, you might be all right. But then it obviously cost of paints, cost of time, the time investment. And that's not something that you can do casually. Because like building and painting an army takes a lot of time as well. So you have to really commit to the time investment as well. Because you can't half-ass building and painting an army.
You can.
Because Because if you half it, half it, you know,
Fucking
it doesn't happen. You know, look at Liam. He's not built a full army in 3 years.
Probably
longer.
Joe, to be honest with you.
I've worked this April. It's been 4 years,
I know.
and you've contributed fuck all.
That's a lie.
Financially, right? You've contributed quite a lot, but physical models on the table.
Yeah.
You've maybe done about 30 models in about 4 years.
I think that's
and
probably
that's generous.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Right?
I think no. It's probably generous. It's probably less than 30.
you like because if you like
chat, we're one member away from 50.
Because you can't half-ass building an army because if it's not built, you can't play with it.
Correct.
Right? And new people generally take longer to build armies.
Yeah, because they don't have experience, right? So,
right. I built a box of Incubi in about 20 minutes. That might take someone an hour.
It'd take me longer than that.
So, like, and that's a box of Incubi taking an hour. That's 70, 80 points of your army, maybe 90. So it's going to take them multiple days to build a whole army.
How are you building them so fast? How are you building them so fast?
I don't need the instructions for a lot of stuff nowadays. But Games Workshop also puts things in to make it easier. So because stuff's numbered, you go, okay, left leg, like leg 1 and leg 2, torso 3, back torso 4. Those go together.
Normally, not always.
Not always.
You're right there.
So Storming Fish, you can literally play with grey plastic, right? So, but to get there, it's going to take a whole weekend to build that army before you've done it, right? And then say you want to go to an event, you want to go to a tournament, they go, you're going to have to paint it now. You don't have to paint it well, but you have to paint it.
Do you think that's, I mean, we've had this conversation before, but I'm going to bring it up again. Do you think that's weird that Games Workshop say 10 points for being painted, and then events go, well, you all got to be painted? Because Games Workshop have sort of said, in essence, I feel like they've kind of said, you want to play with grey, you can, but you lose 10 points. Or do you not think that's what they've said?
I think, well, it depends, right? Because there's no painting score in Age of Sigmar or Horus Heresy. But I think it's.
I think 10 points.
I think the painting score is forced etiquette.
I think it's utterly pointless. Because every event pack says armies must be painted.
Yeah.
So I just remove it. It's bollocks. We don't even add it on anymore on the channel because it doesn't make any difference.
No, I'll lose regardless.
True, yeah.
But no, I think it is like a forced, because there was a period of time where people just weren't painting their armies, and it just looked there was the dark period of time where there was like 3 colours minimum, and people would just turn up with a literal grey model with 3 dots on its shoulder pad, you know, and that looks bad because Games Workshop sells a product and that product is about playing face to face, and then you go to tournaments, and tournaments a lot of people can go in. Every model that exists in the world is an advert for that product, right? It is, and they want your product to look its best.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
You know, Maserati don't want loads of dinged up Maseratis driving around.
No.
Or just upside down on fire. They're like, a good clean Maserati is a sales piece.
Some events in my local area allow unpainted. That's good.
Yeah.
No, it is good. I think accessibility is important. So if we were running a GT here, I'd probably say your armies have got to be painted. But if you're running an accessibility-based weekend, chill hammer, and you categorically state beforehand, armies don't have to be painted, so people can come and play and get used to playing in it. Like, I feel like that's a positive overall. I know you have feelings about unpainted. I get it, and I do understand it, Joe. I genuinely do. But I feel like I want to be more.
And those chill weekends will not involve me. It might, but I will just walk around scowling at people.
Yeah.
Because I think, like, painting your army for an event specifically there is an etiquette to it, and I think it's also like a mark of respect. It's like I'm willing to put the same effort into my hobby as you are. You know, when you look at football, you look at the Olympics, you look at any sport done anywhere, there is a uniform and a level of cleanliness, you know? The cleanliness list, a lot of people just avoid in 40k, I get it. But the thing you put on the table is a representation of you and the place that you are. You know? And you've both agreed to turn up and follow the rules that have been laid down. And you want the game to be thematic and nice and cool, and you want it to look its best. And when one person turns up with an army that's like barely painted, they put no effort into it, the basing is non-existent, and they're just a bit sloppy as a person, you're like, I'm not having a good time.
I don't like painting and hobbying snobbery.
No,
I think it puts barriers up. Some people will come in and their models will look exactly like you've just described, and you know what?
Yeah.
They've done their best.
Yeah.
And that is their best, and that's fine. And some people can paint like Golden Demon standard without even thinking.
I'm not asking for Golden Demon quality.
But I'm just saying you can't. I don't think it's fair to say, this is a personal opinion, by the way. I'm not telling you you're wrong. It's just my opinion. But I don't think it's fair to say here is a standard that you should be aspiring to be, because everybody's abilities are different. And I think we have to be cognizant of that. We have to be aware of the fact that I love multiple edge highlights, right? And just because this person comes in with an army that hasn't been edge highlighted doesn't mean that they've not put any effort in. They might have done their actual best to get to where they are. And I think we need to remember that.
And that's fine. But I think if an event has a rule that says that your army has to be painted, you know, your army has to be battle ready, right? And you've paid to go to that event. I do think you have to follow the rules.
No, I agree with that.
You know,
absolutely. But and I don't know if I've personally never been to. So Storming Fish has told us obviously, but I personally have never been to an event that has allowed unpainted, which means I don't think we need the painted score. But I love the feeling of having a fully painted army laid out, even if I'm playing against unpainted. I feel like I've let the side down if mine aren't. Which is having your own. And I need to make this very clear, chat. Having your own standard isn't a bad thing. Having your own standard isn't a bad thing. Applying your standard to other people could cause problems because people have very different skill levels and very different abilities. And I just want people to be a bit more kind of aware of that. We're still one gifted away from 50,
but
by the way.
I think for 4 club nights, for playing with your mates, fill your boots, you know?
Yeah.
Go crazy, do whatever the hell you want. But I think for events, I do think, I feel like we have to show a bit of care.
And again, I think depending on what the event is, like I said, if I was running a proper event downstairs, I think I'd be like, no, I ideally want people to turn up with painted miniatures.
Yeah.
But if I'm running like an intro weekend to 40k, where you'll get to play 3 or 4 games, but you're learning, I would be okay with allowing people to turn up with grey. You're learning. Yeah, it's fine. It's like when you think about that barrier we talked about with the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pounds for glues and what have you. Downstairs at the hobby bar, we've got free plastic Space Marines.
Yeah.
You can clip out. We've got free clippers, free glue. You can build your whole Space Marine without spending a penny.
Yeah.
Right? We've also got spray cans on hand, and I'm going to start getting some paints together so you can try painting without spending a penny.
Yeah.
So you can go, I really enjoyed this process, now I want to spend my money on it.
Yeah.
Rather than, I think I might enjoy it, but I haven't yet spent any money. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's what I'd like to do anyway. That's what we are doing. We're breaking those barriers down. We've had a lot of kids come in who have gone, oh, can I, crack on.
Children?
Build your own model. Yeah, but you get a 12-year-old nowadays into the hobby. Do you know who's got more money than teenagers? You know who's got more money than an 18-year-old who's just got their first job, Joe? Mum.
Yeah.
So in you come, 12-year-old. Look at that Space Marine. He's fucking cool.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, here's a whole shelf of them. Right? And it's about, for me, one of the big things with Hobby House was about breaking down boundaries and breaking down barriers and giving people the opportunity to come and try a build, try a paint, try an event, play some games, play with your plastic and go, I'm really enjoying this. Because ultimately, from a hobby perspective, more people in the hobby, the better. From a business perspective, the more people buying from us, the better.
Yeah.
Right? So, anyway, thank you to Tank, Siggy's Boy and Whitey, who all gifted one to get us over the 50 mark. We've only got 48 now to go till we hit the target, or Joe and Paddy and Adam have got to do 148 later. But Power Pilgrim also gifted 5 memberships.
Power Pilgrim?
Yeah.
I hope Power Pilgrim that... I hope that the next time you go into a hobby shop, you're the 1,000th, 10,000th, millionth customer, and you win a £100 voucher to spend in the shop.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Where's
Someone said, where is it? Dave asked a question. Sadly, haven't been able to keep up with the streams and how Hobby House is going. Is it officially open? Yes, it is. We're opening in 50 minutes. So after this show, I quickly turn the stream around for tonight's show. I go put my Hobby House uniform on. I go downstairs and start working downstairs. And then these guys will go live at 7:30. I'll be working downstairs. I'll probably finish at 10:30. They'll finish at about the same sort of time. There we go.
Brom's not playing, so I suppose, yeah.
So yeah, we're open. Or will we be able to just pop in for a hobby session? I struggle to do it. So we charge for tables down here to play. You get 4 hours roughly for 20 quid to play on a table. We have a hobby bar, which is 2 lower tables. The hobby bar has got extra PowerPoints in it. Again, breaking down those boundaries. Every single seat at the hobby bar has a water pot, a paint palette, and a lamp, so you can hobby. So you've got everything you need. All you would need to do is bring your paints and your tools and your models, obviously. The hobby bar is free. We don't charge anything for people to come and sit and hobby. On Saturday last week, we had a guy who sat at the hobby bar for about 6 or 7 hours, just sat there hobbying away. And again, from a hobbying perspective, it's beautiful to see. From a business perspective, the guy kept buying lattes and what have you.
Yeah.
He's still putting money into the business. He just sat there, hung out, and enjoyed himself at the hobby bar. The hobby bar's free. Again, breaking down those barriers. That's the whole point. That's what I love.
Did you allow him to leave at the end?
He could leave, yeah, but when he bought his coffee cut back, he was like, because he's had so much caffeine. But yeah, when we run painting courses, probably, it depends on who we get to run them.
Yeah.
So I've got an email address from a person who's a fan who works in Duncan's team. We can speak to people like Peachy, obviously. But I wouldn't want to lean on favours, and I would want that to work for them, so they get something out of it, etc. Because I'm not keen on being a person who takes advantage of other people's generosity for myself. I prefer to give something back.
Most people tend to just hire the spot, don't they, for painting courses?
Yeah.
So it depends on who does it, and it tends to be how much it costs. Does £100 go a long way in the hobby? It depends on what you want, right?
Does £100 go a long way in your hobby?
It's about £100. It's a combat patrol equivalent.
Yeah, you can get a reasonable amount for £100. I don't think it's bad. Oh, right, I need to get through these because I've got to get ready to go downstairs. Thank you, Christopher, for the $5. Remember the good old days when you went in stores and an A was £3 and then each other letter of the alphabet was £1 more? I remember that. Do you remember that? There was more blister packs, wasn't it?
That's how I spent all my pocket money as a kid.
Was it? I fucking love that.
Yeah, because I'd be like, I've got £7. That's up to E, so I can buy stuff up to E in the blister packs, kind of thing.
Hey, Mum, I'm off to buy an E.
Yeah, it's better than saying a D, I suppose.
Well, true. Yeah. Touche. And you love that D.
So yeah, I think.
Has anybody figured out what I'm building?
A better world.
Thanks, Joe.
No.
Oh.
I thought
I thought it was a really lovely comment about what we're doing downstairs then, and no.
I meant more in like the Wayland Utabi way.
All right, okay.
I watched. Well, anyone watched the new Predator movie? Yeah,
I've heard terrible things about it.
I really enjoyed it.
Of course you did.
It's just like it's proper Disney Predator, not rated R Predator. You know, I did laugh. You know, I had a lot of fun. I think it's basically aimed at getting a younger generation into Predator, right? But like, times are different now.
Sounds like fucking Epstein. Carry on.
When I was younger, when I was 12, 13, actually no, 12, 13, I was watching the Predator films, right? The Alien films. But it was a different time then.
Yeah,
right.
My dad had them on VHS.
Right.
Put them on for me.
When a man and a woman are making vigorous love and then they have their heads and spines torn out, you know, that was perfectly acceptable for a 12-year-old to watch that. But not so much anymore, you know.
They don't make them like they used to, do they, Joe?
No. So.
And look at us, we all ended up normal.
Yeah. We're all perfectly normal, well-adjusted people.
Exactly.
But yeah, so I think if you go into the new Predator film realising that this is how Disney want to get people into Predator and that world, I think it's really, really good. Because Disney are creating stuff within the Alien Predator world for adults and kids now. Mm-hmm. So you've got Alien Earth, which is a great TV series. They had the film Prey, great Predator film. Like, they're making stuff for adults and kids now, which I quite like. And the kids stuff is good, right? I watched it as a... If you enjoy eating popcorn and watching mindless violence set in a world that you enjoy...
Sounds good. Into it.
Good soup, good soup. I think if you like Alien Predator... give it a go.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tank, for $10. UKTC say battle ready, but I've seen some third-hand stories saying that the level for this at the Manchester GT was harsh. My armies are painted battle ready, but they are not well painted battle ready. This is part of the problem. Even battle ready as a statement that normally comes with a list of things that they kind of expect is open to interpretation.
I mean, they do supply pictures.
Yeah, I don't know. Because for me, what I would want, honestly, is to see that you've put some effort in.
Yeah.
And you've tried. The problem is, again, everyone's skill set is different. So I could look at it and go, it doesn't look like you put any effort in. And they might be like, I've tried my best. This is everything I can do. I've done.
No. I would never say to someone, you've clearly not put any effort in.
No, but if you're taking points off of people for being battle ready, or, you know, some events will issue cards and stuff if ththings aren't painted properly, it can be really harsh. If someone's gone, I've put loads of effort in, they go, cool, yellow card because your army's not good enough.
Yeah. So what they do for, let me find the player pack. They do now for Warhammer World events, which I quite like it, right? Okay. Let me find the, where are you?
And I'm so sorry.
Right, here we are, 2025 player pack. Double skill team.
We're really need to stop the show soon. Can we just get an absolute, there's 200 of you, can we just get an absolute wave of members coming in so I can keep saying thank yous so I can then go downstairs and relax?
Yeah.
Can we do that, chat? Can we?
Player packs, Warhammer 40k Grand Tournament.
Do you fancy helping me out like that?
The first time I'd seen this concept was at Worlds, but they seem to have just continued it on for everyone. Because I'd never seen it. I'd never seen Warhammer World use it before.
This model is actually beautiful.
Yeah. So best painted. You know, they do. So best painted will also be awarded. Paint score is determined in 2 phases First, 2 judges will visit every table during the first day of play. Each player will receive an initial paint score of 30, which is battle ready, right? So the lowest you could score is 30, right? Or 50 if it is an excellent looking tabletop army, or 70, which is a showcase army or work of art. So they give you your army a grading, right?
Right.
After this initial pass, the head paint judge will determine the mark for any army upon those initial score. The first 2 judges disagreed. Once initial scores have been tallied, each player that scored a confirmed 70 will be invited to the showcase. The showcase takes place on the evening of the first day and entails a second round of judging from all 3 judges. They conduct an in-depth, exacting review of each showcase army and give it a score of -5 or +5 each. The 3 scores are then tallied together and added to the base 70, giving the player a paint score between 55 and 85. These marks are awarded against the combined considerations of technical skill, visual impact, artistic decision, and consistency across the army. And a visual arresting display may help to improve your score at the judge's discretion, but the inclusion of display does not automatically garner points.
Liam wants us to wave his models at him. Yes, please. Yes, please, chat. If you could just have a flurry now, bunch of 5s, just get us to like 70. I'll be more.
But they've also got, they've added more awards. They've got best overall and best general, best painted, best display, and best theme, and sportsmanship awards. But I just want, I'm just saying, there doesn't need, not everyone has to be the same. I just want to, when I turn up to the table, feel like that you've tried. Liam says that the level of trying is different for everyone. But I think as long as you've spray painted it the right colour and painted your gun black, maybe done, if you're a Space Marine, the trim and painted the eyes red, that's enough, just mud on the base. Because someone else will determine, like the Warhammer does, they go through a series of judging. And because I care about painting of my army, I want someone to look at it and tell me if it's good or bad.
Yeah. Reasonable.
Yeah. But I'll never go up to someone, your army's shit.
I think he probably would, actually.
If I knew them.
I was about to say, I definitely feel like that's something you would do.
I say it to Paddy all the time.
Yeah.
And he's a very good painter.
He's probably the best painter out of all of us.
Do better.
Yeah. You enjoying the Drukhari?
Yeah, I need more spare bits.
Okay, you've got a lot of spare bits.
I need...
Do you think you can do 148 members tonight with you, Paddy and Adam?
Looking at their armies, I don't know if it will last long enough.
Well, you better get them gifting fast, then, didn't you?
Oh, but what can we do to get them to gift fast? It's always me degrading myself. Can you get Paddy or Adam to degrade them?
How did you find the funny 2-piece ring shoulder joints on Farsight? It was probably the worst part of the kit. But once I'd figured out, I was trying to put them upside down. They didn't fit properly. I was trying to put them upside down. When I figured the picture out properly, it was then all right. I just stuck the 2 ring pieces together and then put it on the model, and I found it a little easier that way.
What I have learned over time is that people that design models aren't very good at designing instructions on how to build them.
There's a lot of discrepancy between game systems on how good or bad instructions are as well, which I find interesting.
Yeah?
Yeah. Right, I think we're done. I think chat are finished. I think they've had enough.
They're just done.
Yeah?
Yeah, they don't like my rant.
It's also nearly, oh my God, my phone's gone mental. It's also nearly 1:30, and I have to think about getting the show ready for later and getting ready for downstairs to open in 40 minutes, just under. If you didn't guess it already, some people guessed it. Mr. Farsight is what we were building today. And Joe's been building Drukhari Witches. So yeah, that's what we've been on. A big battlesuit man. I had an urge. I don't know why I had an urge to go for it. And I said to Paddy, I was like, I might go downstairs and buy a Farsight to build on the show. And he went, stop, there's one in the drawer in the back of the studio. I was like, of course there is. Yeah. And someone sent this to me, and I can't remember who it was, but someone of you lot in the audience sent me this Farsight model ages ago, and he's been sat here for a while, and I finally got round to putting him together. And I don't know who it was, and if you know who it was, then remind me, but thank you so much. I've actually thoroughly enjoyed putting this guy together. He's been really nice. Much nicer than I expected. I love everything battlesuit about Tau, apart from Crisis suits, because they're just a bit shit. When you think about the Coal Star and how cool he is, and Farsight and how cool he is, and how cool new stealth suits are, and how cool Ghost Kills. Ghost Kills are like one of my favourite 40k models with a little pilot inside. Oh, I think they're fucking peak. When you think about how cool all that shit is, and you go, oh, by the way, here's Crisis suits. Here's the mainstay of the suits in the army. Yeah. They're the worst ones.
I think you can make them look good, but it's just more effort than is required. You know?
I know how to make them look good, Jay. Wait for new ones to come out.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's how long... So I had this... So I'm building the Drakari army now. And I kind of like... I had to go through some thoughts because I was like, what am I going to do? What am I going to add? How am I going to do it? What things do I want to avoid? And I've gone, well, realistically, we're not going to see any Drakari potentially for a year, maybe more. Do I put off doing Drakari for over a year for when it does eventually come out, or do I build it and paint it with what we have and just enjoy it whilst I can? And that's where I've kind of landed on, like, I want to play this army. I don't want to wait for an incalculable amount of time.
Yeah, I really wanted to play the army as well, and I don't want to wait, so I'm glad that's your choice.
Yeah, so but there's things that I'm going to prioritize over others. So like, I'm going to do 20 witches. I think we've got 20 incubi. We might have 25, so they're all going to get done. We've got all the characters. I think we've probably got about 30 scourges. I love scourges, so they're gonna get done. But it's like, we don't have any bikes. We don't have any Reaver Jet bikes. And I'm like, just don't bother getting them.
Because you think they'll get replaced?
I think they'll probably get replaced.
You think the Reaver kits are quite nice, aren't they?
They're all right. Like the thing about the Drakari army as a whole is that it's an army that realistically doesn't need an update.
Yeah.
There's stuff I'd like to be added to it, you know, like there's no grotesques, for instance. I'd like a character on a bike, like that. So like, and just go that way. But like I'm doing the Corsairs at the same time, so they can fill a lot of the gaps in the army as well.
Yeah.
But no, I'm very excited to do the Drakari and play Drakari.
Is there a specific way that this goes?
What is it?
The trees.
The little tree?
It looks like there's a specific way it's supposed to go on.
Probably.
There is.
But yeah, so far today I've got 3 left to go, or 2.5 because I'm halfway through this one. 10 witches, a succubus, 5 incubi, and an archon. And I'm going to just push through and see how much I can get done in literally one day.
Yeah.
Because
well, you're quite quick.
Once I've got my Imperial Fists to like 2,500 points, which I'm not far off, I'm just going to smash the Elder. Just fully attack it and build it and paint it. Whee.
Craft file stuff?
No, Drakari.
Right, okay.
And the Corsairs. There is more. I have got more Craft World stuff at home, but you told me to not do that because you decided you weren't happy with Eldar anymore.
I am happy with Eldar. I'm not interested in playing right now, and so I was like, "There's no point you building and painting stuff for me that I'm not sure if I'm going to play with at this point. When you could build and paint stuff that you're using that you would use on the channel."
So,
I'm a very thoughtful person when it comes to that kind of stuff, Joe. I don't want to have you painting later. There's stuff to do. There's definitely stuff to do.
I know. I've got a garage full of it. Literally, I came in with boxes of stuff today.
Yeah, I need to start bringing loads of stuff in.
And I think
especially since I live here now.
I've got so much to build and paint. It's like I'm trying to avoid buying entirely new stuff as much as possible. Because whatever new stuff I add just pushes other stuff back. It's like I've got, like in my Imperial Fists, I've got a normal Whirlwind and a Heresy Whirlwind because I just refused to buy either a second normal Whirlwind or a second Heresy Whirlwind. So I was like, because we don't even know what was happening to Whirlwinds.
We don't know what's happening to Whirlwinds.
And I was like, if I paint a Heresy one, and they go away from 40k, I mean, we've got a Heresy Whirlwind for Imperial Fists then.
It's not a terrible thing.
Yeah. So that's why I also like doing Heresy stuff, because if it goes away, there's still a use for it.
We've got one last piece to stick on, and then I'm literally done. Literally done.
Literally.
And then I can say goodbye to you people. I was holding out for a couple of 5 gifteds, so we could get some really sexy Joe Hopes, get to 60, 70 members, everyone relaxes, Joe can have a fun night.
Do I have to do sexy Joe Hopes, do I?
Yeah. Can you do sexy Joe Hopes?
I mean, I can.
Oh, well, there you go. Where does his little knife go?
In your bum.
In my bum.
Also, if you get a chance to play the new Resident Evil, do it.
Requiem.
Yeah, I'm further into it now. It's very, very good.
Still enjoying it?
Oh, it's so good, so good. Because you play as both characters. You play as Grace, who's like a tiny little blonde girl who's terrified of everything, and then you play as Leon, it's just another day. Just another day in the week of mass murdering zombies. But it's a bit while I was too efficient as Grace, and I killed too many zombies. So when Leon went through afterwards, he had nothing to do. I was like, this bit's just not very exciting. There's no zombies to kill. But Scarlet already killed them.
Look at that guy. He's fucking sick, isn't he?
I do think that Farsight is the best town model they've ever done.
He's beautiful. Big fan of that.
I would say that Farsight is... Games Workshop does models that are of display quality. I would say he's one of the most aesthetically pleasing models they've done.
Yeah, I think he's absolutely gorgeous. I love him.
If I was going to do Tau, I think I'd probably do Farsight Enclave.
Well, that's what I was thinking about doing because
red's easy.
Yeah. Absolutely. When it comes to simple schemes. Okay, right, cool. Anyway, you lot are amazing. Thank you for hanging out. We did get to 52 members, so we got over halfway at least.
Fiddy.
You've only got to do Joe 148 tonight, which would be amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for all the super chats, and thank you for all the likes. You people are insane. Thank you for hanging out on the Liam and Joe show. Thank you for taking part in the conversation. I can't wait to buy Joe 3 Tyrannid Primes. You watch their rules and 11th be mental.
I'll take 1 for now, and if they do get good...
I can't buy you 3. We've only ordered 2.
I know. If have we got any Raveners in yet?
I keep requesting them. I don't know.
I've got 2 units of the command Raveners. I've got no generic Raveners.
Okay.
But I do want to get more Tyrannids done.
Right.
But I can only do so much. No.
Thank you so much for watching, you wonderful humans. Hopefully you come and hang out tonight at 7:30 for the live game of Warhammer 40k. Adam, Joe, and Paddy are running the show. I am in the building. I'm just downstairs in a shirt, being all smart and stuff. So hopefully you'll come and join them. And
have you got a
support them
staff
tonight.
shirt, or have you got
I've got a staff shirt.
Yeah.
Hopefully you'll come and join us and support them tonight, you amazing people. Tomorrow, about with After Dark here in the studio again at 7:30, because I'll be working tomorrow night as well. And then that's it for the first week in March of content. Thank you so much for all your comments. Thank you so much for all your engagement. Thank you so much for just being awesome. We love you very much. Hopefully we'll see you in the next one.
Bye, have a wonderful time.